To build a sound NFL roster through the draft, it's all about value.
Philadelphia, a long time ago, made a decision that they were consistently going to be comfortable drafting for value and not for need.
How about we break down the 6 worst value picks and the 6 greatest steals from the 2025 NFL Draft. Worst, Colston Loveland, TE, Chicago Bears, number 10 overall. The Bears went with Michigan tight end Colston Loveland at number 10. And look, he's a talented player, but tight end at 10? Really? Chicago had bigger needs at edge, tackle, and corner. Yeah, sure, Ben Johnson's offense loves a mismatched tight end, but Loveland was not the consensus top guy at his position. And most mocks had him going closer to the end of the first round. You can't help but feel like he was trying a little bit too hard to recreate the magic that he captured with Sam Laporta in Detroit. This pick felt like the definition of luxury instead of necessity. And in a division loaded with pass rushers, passing up on premium edge or offensive line help is seriously risky business. Greatest, Mason Graham, DT, Cleveland Browns, number 5 overall. While the Browns draft as a whole raised eyebrows, their decision to trade down and still land Michigan's Mason Graham at number 5 was one of the biggest coups of round 1. The reality of the situation is that they were not a Travis Hunter away from competing for a Super Bowl. And as electric as he may end up being, they really need to prioritize the trenches and getting stronger again on the inside. Graham was widely viewed as the best pure defensive tackle in this class, an interior disruptor with the ability to anchor the run and collapse the pocket. His relentless motor and technique remind a lot of people of Chris Jones. Cleveland badly needed a cornerstone on the D-line, and Graham gives them just that. The Browns got their guy and extra capital. Now that is how you build a sustainable winning strategy in the draft. Sure, the pick may not translate to a Lombardi trophy in year 1, but few ever will. That really cannot be the aim. This was a great play by Cleveland to finally start the rebuild from the ground up. Worst, Sheamar Stewart, edge, Cincinnati Bengals, number 17 overall. Look, it's not a shock that the Bengals went defense in round 1, but the pick of Texas A&M's Sheamar Stewart at 17? I don't know. That's a risky bet for a franchise that really cannot afford another first-round flop. I mean, yeah, sure, it's true. Stewart certainly looks the part. He's big, explosive, and a legit athletic freak. But production matters, and Stewart's numbers in college were, well, underwhelming. Not to mention that his motor looked, questionable at times, to put it nicely. And don't forget, we're talking about a guy who never had more than 1.5 sacks in a season, finishing his Aggies career with just 4.5 total sacks and a single forced fumble. Sure, traits guys sometime pop at the next level, but for a team that needs impact now, passing on more proven defensive talent is a real gamble. Greatest? Barrett Carter, LB. Cincinnati Bengals, number 119 overall. Hey, don't worry, Bengals fans. The sky isn't falling entirely because y'all did find a nice potential diamond in the rough at 119. Every single draft has its how did he fall this far guy, and for 2025, that's Clemson's Barrett Carter. This is a player with day 2 tape, day 2 athleticism, and day 1 versatility. Carter can run, cover, and hit. He's got experience at multiple linebacker spots. He has played in big games and should be an immediate contributor on special teams and in nickel packages. In a division loaded with modern super athletic offenses, Carter is exactly what Cincinnati needed to keep up. There is a very good chance that you'll be seeing this man flying around Paul Brown Stadium sooner rather than later. Worst, Jonah Savaiinaea, Miami Dolphins, number 36 overall. Miami nabbed Jonah Savaiinaea, a college tackle who most project as a guard in the pros, in the second round. And while it isn't as easy to scrutinize out of the first round, 36 is basically a 1+ rounder. Which brings us to the next point. What exactly was Miami thinking here? The 36th overall pick holds a ton of value, and yet they went after a guy who is already expected to require a position change. He was not even close to being the best lineman left, and most scouts had him as a 3rd or even 4th round project. He's athletic, sure, but oh man, his technique is raw, and he is very inconsistent in pass protection, which is problematic when you're protecting Tua Tagovailoa. The Dolphins are desperate to fix their line, but this was a reach, pure and simple. Greatest? Shedeur Sanders, QB, Cleveland Browns, number 144 overall. Every draft has a stunning fall. And this year, that was Shedeur Sanders. Once talked about as a potential first rounder, Sanders fell all the way to the Browns in the 5th round. But hey, forget the drama for a minute because this is insane value. Sanders has a legitimate NFL arm, pocket presence, and leadership skills. Not to mention a chip the size of the 5th round on his shoulder. With the Browns quarterback situation still in total flux, taking a shot on a talent like Sanders at 144 is a classic high upside swing. If he develops, this could be the best value in the entire draft. And if not, hey, it was a 5th rounder. Who cares? This is why you collect picks and take chances. Worst, James Pierce Jr., edge, Atlanta Falcons, number 26 overall. Atlanta might need help on the edge of their defensive line, but man, desperation moves are rarely a good strategy. And the Falcons' decision to burn a 2026 first-rounder to move up for Tennessee's James Pierce Jr. could come to haunt them. No doubt, Pierce is a talented outside linebacker who can rush the quarterbacks with the best of them. You know, when he's actually on his game. But while he flashed legit first-round potential early last season, there were more than a few times that he seemed to just completely disappear out there. Don't get us wrong, Atlanta definitely needs help at the position, but mortgaging a future first in a deep draft for another edge right after grabbing Jalen Walker raises eyebrows. The Falcons are not a perennial playoff team that can afford to play with house money. If Pierce isn't a star, this is a win-now gamble that could backfire in a hurry. Greatest, Jihadd Campbell, LB, Philadelphia Eagles, number 31 overall. Howie Roseman keeps playing chess while the rest of the league is playing gosh dang checkers. Grabbing Alabama linebacker Jihadd Campbell at 31 is a perfect example of that. Campbell had top 10 grades on multiple boards, but slipped due to knee concerns. Sounds like a couple other of the young studs that we've seen on the Eagles D the last couple of years. Anyway, Philly's front office is not afraid to take a medical or character risk on a blue chip defender. And Campbell is an absolute stud, able to cover, blitz, and chase sideline to sideline. He is a perfect fit for the Birds, and if he stays healthy, Campbell will fit right into the Eagles' aggressive scheme and could end up as one of the signature players of this draft class. Worst, Tyleik Williams, DT, Detroit Lions, number 28 overall. There's no denying that the Lions are in a rare sweet spot, one of the deepest, most complete rosters in the NFL, especially along the defensive line. So that's what makes the decision to invest a first-round pick in Ohio State's Tyleik Williams such a head-scratcher. I mean, sure, Williams is a strong, athletic interior defender, but Detroit already has a rising young star in Aleem McNeil, who plays a strikingly similar style. Rather than addressing more urgent needs like cornerback, wide receiver, or even adding another edge rusher, the Lions doubled up at a position with plenty of depth already. Maybe general manager Brad Holmes is trying to channel his inner Eagles and build a never-ending pipeline of big bodies. But Williams is not a game wrecker in the mold of a Jalen Carter. He's a solid rotational piece, but not a blue-chip anchor. With their Super Bowl window wide open, Detroit needed to get a difference maker or a long-term starter at a premium spot. Instead, they went safe and redundant. Greatest, Tyler Warren, TE, Indianapolis Colts, number 14 overall. Now this is how you attack a need with value. The Colts and Chris Ballard absolutely nailed this pick with Tyler Warren out of Penn State, a plug-and-play difference maker. For those who are unfamiliar with the Happy Valley product, he was the focal point of their offense the entire season. Warren is not just a tight end, he is an offensive weapon. He runs like a receiver, blocks with the best of his peers, and is a matchup nightmare in the red zone. Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones, if things go sideways, will get a go-to guy who can keep chains moving and create explosive plays. Landing Warren without trading up and ahead of the inevitable run at the position is how you win the draft board. Colts fans, you've got a piece who could end up as one of the best all-around tight ends in the league for years to come. Worst, Jaxson Dart, QB, New York Giants, number 25 overall via trade. I suppose it isn't stunning that New York went a little bit off script and moved up to take a signal caller, but Dart is as raw as they come. He thrived at Ole Miss in a heavy RPO and play action scheme, one that let him play fast and loose, but didn't require him to consistently make NFL-level reads and throws. There is some physical talent and, man, a lot of moxie, but he is nowhere near plug and play. The Giants are still carrying Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, so the plan might be to let Dart learn. But in a New York media market with Brian Dable and Joe Shane both coaching for their jobs? How long until pressure mounts and Dart gets thrown to the wolves? If he is rushed onto the field, well, you could see this unravel fast, which would only make this pick look even worse over time. This was a reach for hope, not for a sure thing. And that is exactly the kind of move that gets regimes fired in today's NFL. Greatest? Josh Simmons, OT, Kansas City Chiefs, number 32 overall. This is the textbook definition of a draft day steal. Simmons was trending toward being a top 10 lock before a midseason knee injury knocked him down draft boards and right into the hands of Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs. But man, when healthy, he has all the makings of a future All-Pro. Size, movement skills, and the kind of edge that sets the tone up front. 3 years from now, do not be shocked if teams are kicking themselves for letting the Chiefs reload at a premium position again. But who do you think was the worst value pick from the 2025 NFL Draft? Who do you think was the highest? What do you think we got right here? And where do you think we may have missed? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then hey, clicking that like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.